We welcome you into season preview looking at Carlow University's cross country season for 2025. Sean Meyers joined by the third year head coach, Ashley Barr. And first off, Ashley, thanks for doing this. How's everything been with you lately?
Yeah, really good. Thanks.
Well, I first want to talk about the men's team and look ahead. But
Okay.
before we look ahead to this season, I want to look back to last campaign. So, how did you evaluate how the men performed a year ago?
So, we had some help from the men's basketball team and in our many of our meets, we had men who were basketball players who placed in the top 10 in meets, and we even had one meet last season where the men's team won first place at the Mount Aloysius Invitational, and that was through the help of some of the men's basketball players as well.
I know it's a smaller roster, but who are the guys you're going to be counting on this year?
So definitely Quincy Fana. He's a rising senior, and he has been really hardworking, very dependable throughout my last 3 years as the coach. He's made a lot of strides. He does a lot of summer work on his own. So I'd say, he's probably going to be my top performer. Gavin McLean, who ran as a freshman, stepped back last year to play volleyball, will be returning to us this year as an upcoming junior. And then a transfer student who is a junior coming to us from CCAC should be a pretty strong runner as well. Demetrius Epps, who will also be trying out for the basketball team. So a lot of dual sport on the men's side.
What are the goals that you have for the team, knowing that there are some limitations with the roster size?
So, absolutely goal is to get that team score in at least five of our meets. I have scheduled out 10 meets, knowing that, often students have conflicts with school or work or, family obligations. So trying to get that team score and at least five of our 10 meets should definitely be doable. So I always try to schedule more than we need just to anticipate any potential conflicts. I'd love to see Quincy get into a top 10 situation in both the AMCC and the USCAA championship meets in his senior year. He definitely puts the work in, so that I think that's a great goal for him. He's been kind of hovering right on the cusp of that over the past few years.
Let's shift now to the women's side because
Okay.
I think when you think back to a year ago, some takeaways come to mind. So, what do you think of when you think of how they performed?
I mean, the girls were fantastic. I mean, they really work hard. They support each other. Many of them have the same majors, so they spend a good bit of time together outside of school and outside of practice. So I think they just, they're supportive of each other. And when we attend meets and there are teams around us with, one or two sole runners, they're very supportive of other teams as well. And I think I've, taught them to be inclusive of everybody when we are attending meets.
From the time that you took over, it seems like the roster on the women's side has grown. So, how significant is that for where you want this program to be?
I mean, I think, my ultimate goal would be to have probably 16 women, 16 men as a goal. Um, we need five to get that team score. But I think as the program grows, in my first year, I had two runners. So going from two to eight and now, potentially 10 this season, I think that's definitely doable. I think it helps that I'm also a full-time professor at Carlow, so I'm able to kind of recruit from within, if that makes sense. And I have a few runners who, weren't necessarily running cross country in high school, but found interest in the program through other students and through my presence on campus.
Who are some of the returners on the women's side that you're going to lean upon?
Definitely Ella Cloak. She was a first place winner in many of the meets. She's a rising senior. She is a phenomenal athlete. She's just basically a phenomenal student, athlete, person all over. She has some great leadership qualities as well. Laci Schwirian, again, another rising senior, has been with me since the beginning. Those were the two I started with. So Laci and Ella. McKenna Rankin, as a sophomore, has made a lot of strides as well. She's one of the students who didn't run in high school. Her high school was so small, they didn't even have cross country, but I was able to pull her in just through some campus activities. She's been a great as well. Claire Stevens, another one as a rising junior, I'd say would probably be my top four returners.
So, what expectations do you have for the newcomers on the women's roster?
So, I'd like them to get acclimated to college life. I think that's a big transition for, kids as they move from high school to college. So get them acclimated to college life, to living, city living. A few of them are coming from small towns, and then just, making sure that they feel comfortable on the team, kind of getting to know them personally is important to me, and understanding what their own personal goals are as well, as will be a lot of what we do in the beginning.
What team objectives do you have?
So team objectives, I would say, are, show up, do the best that you can, put the work in, put the effort in, show leadership skills, and be inclusive of your teammates.
You received a pretty significant accolade. You were the USCAA Women's Cross Country Coach of the Year a year ago. So, what
Yeah.
did that mean?
I mean, it was really surprising, actually, especially for only being in my second year of coaching at the collegiate level. I was sitting in the audience, and the award's a surprise. I'm not like a big surprise. I don't really like surprises, but they start kind of talking about the person before they say their name, and they were saying, "Oh yeah, this person, is a coach, but she's also a professor." And in my head, I was thinking, "Oh, well, there's someone else in here who does the same thing I do." Like it didn't even occur to me that it could possibly be me. So, it was a huge surprise. I am incredibly honored. I love what I do. I love coaching. Carlow is a great space for me to be a teacher and a coach. So I don't know how I could go up from there, honestly, but maybe want to get that men's roster full. I'll shoot for men's coach of the year.
What is notable about the schedule for this season?
Um, so a few of the Penn State branch campuses are closing, and Penn State Fayette has been a host for a few of our meets in the past, and the championship meet as well. So that could potentially have some changes. Don't see that Fayette meet on the calendar this year. Also, LaRoche generally hosts two meets. Their campus is under construction, so we're pivoting a bit as far as the courses go. We'll be changing our courses for those LaRoche meets, but that's okay. Other than that, we have our AMCC championship meet, and then the USCAA meet. I believe is still going to be held at Penn State Fayette, possibly for the final year before that campus closes.
Yes. Lastly, speaking of Carlow, I know you said
Yeah.
you're obviously very involved there, not just as a coach. You're there. It's basically your life. What do you like most about being at Carlow?
So I love the small school environment with an urban kind of feel to it, right? So I used to work at a larger university as a professor. I felt like I didn't really know my students. I didn't know most of the faculty I worked with. I went to a very small school myself. I went to Allegheny College in Meadville. So I love the small class size. I mean, the president of the university knows my name. I think those things are important. But you also have the ability to live that kind of urban lifestyle if you want to walk down the street, walk down Fifth Avenue with a lot of options for, food or fun or sports or whatever you want, whatever you like to do in your life. So I think Carlow can really promote that way of life, the small campus, the small class sizes, the personalized touch. But if you want that kind of bigger environment, it's right at your fingertips.
Good stuff, Ashley. Thanks so much for
Yeah,
doing this. I appreciate the
sure.
time as always. Good luck this season.
Thank you. Have a great
That is
day.
that is Ashley Barr here on the season preview. We continue here on the season preview looking at Carlow cross country for the 2025 season. Sean Meyers joined by one of the seniors, Quincy Fana. And first off, thanks for doing this again. I know we talked before, but how's everything with you?
Great, great. It's been a very eventful summer. Spent a lot of time outside, a lot of time running around, physically and literally running around, but looking forward to the upcoming semester and upcoming cross country season.
Well, let's first look back at last season. So, how did you evaluate how you performed?
I noticed improvement in my times, which was a great, great, great representation of all the work that I put in the previous summer. A lot of conditioning, a lot of training, a lot of running outside, getting acclimated to the hot weather, which persisted a lot throughout last season. So I was really glad to see how that turned out. In addition, just a lot of team chemistry and team building going on as well between the coaches and the players. And it just felt good. It felt good to be out on the courses. I had some new courses, saw some familiar faces, got to see where I kind of lined up against some runners that I normally compete with in races. And overall, I think it was a positive experience last season.
Well, you mentioned chemistry. Have you developed as a leader throughout your time here?
Yeah, I believe so. As one of the more consistent cross country runners that are on the team for the guys, definitely have to be a leader for myself and be a leader for the team. As I do strongly represent, I feel like the team, and I try to represent Coach Ashley well through my performance and my interactions with other teams and coaches. So I feel like, yeah, I've developed a lot as a leader, and I try to be a positive role model for the guys and the girls, just trying to get us through some tough practices, tough races. I always like to be there for the team when I can be.
What's the key to staying healthy throughout the season?
One of the things that is important to me is just taking time to rest a little bit. We do work really rigorously throughout the season and practice a lot. So taking some time to rest is absolutely important. And also mentally, just checking in with myself and making sure I'm doing all right. Taking breaks, doing the things I still enjoy is also key to staying healthy, in my opinion, as well.
What do you have in mind for goals?
Just a couple goals. Obviously, we would like to see improvements in times and then hopefully some more team placements this upcoming fall. Still working up through races and stuff like that. I definitely want to compete with last year's times, compete with standings and where I placed at. Big thing for me last season was beating previous course times, and that is still consistent with this year as well.
Is there an event that you're most looking forward to?
I look really forward to all the ones at La Roche, in addition to the Mountie Invitational, where I came in top 10 over there. So that was a pretty nice event. But La Roche is always really fun because it's super local to me. It's a school that's really close to home. And it's always nice because my mom always comes out and watches those races.
What do you like most about your coach, Ashley Barr?
Coach Ashley is a super fun and super hands-on coach, and she will not shy away from telling you what you need to do or what she thinks. She is super inclusive. She wants everyone to have a great time. She doesn't care if you come in first, last, or middle of the pack. As long as you're having a good time and you're putting towards some effort towards the team, towards your abilities to run. She's just super flexible, super helpful, and a great coach to be an athlete for.
You had a lot of success as a runner, but you also had a lot of success as a scholar, and I know you received some accolades for that. So what did that mean?
It meant a lot. It meant a lot. I've always came from a household where school did come first, and to be able to show that and while doing extracurriculars such as cross country means a lot. It means a lot to me because I also wasn't the best high school student. So to be able to turn that around, especially in college, where it's a lot more intensive with course load, it means a lot to me. And it shows that I feel like I'm really developing as a student, especially heading into my senior year, which I'm looking forward to taking on.
Lastly, fill in the blank. This will be a successful season if...
This will be a successful season if I get top 10 again at the Mountie Invitational and top 10 at La Roche.
Looking forward to seeing if you can do that.
Thank you so much.
Quincy, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
That's Quincy Fana, a senior for the Celtics here on the season preview. We continue here on the season preview looking at Carlow cross country for the 2025 season. I'm now joined by one of the seniors, Laci Schwirian. First off, thanks for doing this. How's everything going with you?
It's going well.
I'm sure you're excited for this upcoming season, your senior season. But first, how did you evaluate how your junior year went?
I looked at a lot of the trends. I would always write down my racing time after every meet, and then I looked to see what trends I had better races and which ones were little improvement areas.
When you think back to when you started at Carlow, what has been your biggest area of growth?
I think for me, the confidence in growing as a competitive runner, I was a little more timid my freshman year and getting more confidence and hopefully sharing that with others on the team.
Let's focus on what you do to get ready, your training regimen, whether it be in season or in the off season. How do you prepare?
Prior to the season, I do a lot of hill workouts, some speed training, and then just working on the long runs. And when it comes time to in season, I focus more on 5K based training.
The team finished third last year in the AMCC, fifth in the USCAA competition. So, how did that align with what you were hoping to achieve?
I enjoyed watching the team grow. We got more additions onto the team, and the team grew bigger, and then we all pushed each other to help succeed. And it was nice seeing some placements throughout the season.
What goals do you have this year for the team and for yourself?
For the team, I think working together, right now we have at least 5 girls, so we can work on some team scores. And for myself, just getting a last year of PRs and really chasing those times.
Is there anyone you think that's really going to elevate their performance and have like a breakout season?
I think Quincy on the men's side, he's been a good men representative, and watching him grow, and then just the underclassmen and seeing how they're going to start off and leave the team.
What's your favorite course?
My favorite course is Mount Aloysius. It's a good mixture of hills and flat.
Do you have any? I know the answer is already yes to this one, so I want to hear. Do you have any superstitions when you compete?
I do. I have a bunch. So the day before, I always have to have my pasta and electrolytes, and then I have to like set up my gear and do certain stretches a certain amount of times, tie my hair twice, wear the same shoes. Everything has to be orderly.
Same pasta, or it could be any type of pasta.
Same pasta.
Okay, gotcha. Lastly, what do you think will be your favorite aspect of this year's version of the team?
I think watching Ashley, this is her third year, become a better coach and start to understand everything, and then really team bonding has grown throughout the years. I think looking forward to see how this year's team turns out.
Do you do intentional stuff to create team bonding, or does it kind of just come naturally?
It usually comes naturally when we go on runs. It's easy to carry a conversational pace during long runs, and we always try and have a team dinner kick off the seasons.
Oh, good stuff. I'm sure you're looking forward to that end this season. So thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
That's Laci Schwirian, a senior for the Celtics, here on the season preview.